And as many other books has been brought forth to me, and I've learned from them. All right, we have to take what we learn from everybody and apply it to our lives to make us better, in the way of the Lord, because He's sending people. It's up to you whether you accept them or not. All right, and it reads as this: Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. All right. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart, as unto Christ. All right. Kind of a little off on that reading about the master or whatever that case is. I don't know if they changed something around to provoke us to stay obedient in a certain sense. The word can never be changed, but man can write it and change it. All right. So we shared that with you. All right. So what just happened in Montgomery, Alabama? All right. There was an actual boat called the Harriet II, and there was a co-captain who was the gentleman that they actually had the battle with. All right, and they had these three white men had white boys, or whatever you want to classify them as. They had a pontoon boat, and it was blocking the way of this actual riverboat from docking. And he got off his vessel and tried to confront them, to ask them, could they move their pontoon boat, all right, as it was blocking the way. And it escalated into, what we see there. So maybe a lot of you guys are not aware of what really transpired or how it got to be that. According to a witness, this is what happened. And they're being charged for this because it escalated from their actions. So, if we go back and we look, we see that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King actually marched through those areas. There was a situation that happened in Marion, Alabama, sometime back. This was actually in February of 1965, where a young man by the name of Jimmy Lee Jackson was doing a peaceful protest for voting rights. All right, which is what he was trying to do. And an actual state trooper for that time actually ended up taking him from us. All right, he ends up losing his life as a result of that. So that's what caused King and all of them, blessings, peace and blessings be upon him, to actually go down to Selma and places of that nature and try to do a march through there because of what happened to Mr. Jimmy Lee Jackson, bless his soul. All right, he was only probably like 20-something years old, 27, I think, if you go back and do the research for yourself. But what's actually happening here is that a lot of the parents who are bringing these children along are actually provoking them to wrath. All right, they're provoking them to be villains, to be, in disrespect toward people, not having any respect of person, land, property, respect of position. We have to give everybody their due respect. If they're in a position such as this brother, he didn't do anything wrong. He was just trying to ask them, could they move their vehicle so that he could dock? All right, and it escalated there. But as we did see, here's a brother swimming up who they're looking at him as a hero. The fact that he took that long swim from where he was and he escalated into the action and said, oh no, you're not going to do my brother like that. How many of us have been in situations that we could have diffused had we done something about it? It could have escalated into a fight. I'm an older gentleman. I don't want to get into no fight with nobody. I know sure a lot of you guys, you don't want to because you don't know how that situation may occur. You couldn't tell none of those white women that from their actions, they were going to get hit with chairs because, but you have to look at the fact that when things such as this happen, you don't know what's going to be the outcome. So that's why we have to diffuse situations before they actually occur. We have to know how to avoid, or see situations transpiring and either get out of the way or try to, keep it from actually happening. I was actually at a particular time in there in Minnesota, which I was there at a particular time, and there was a lady who actually worked alongside Dr. Martin Luther King. She said, according to her, she was in some of the marches, and she happened to be at the Walmart, and there was a gentleman who was upset about a bike that he purchased, and the fact that he purchased it from an actual credit card. He didn't get the opportunity to get his money back right then. He didn't understand that it's going to take 3 to 5 days, before this money for a bike that he said wasn't, proper or whatever was wrong with the bike. And when I walked up, this situation was alarming. It was escalating. And this lady walked up. And it had to be the Most High that allowed us to be there at the perfect time to diffuse the situation, because it could have been another George Floyd. Because this gentleman was enraged. He didn't understand the fact that he wanted his money back. They had to try to explain. The store owner was trying to explain. Well, just the manager of the store or the supervisor or whatever their position was trying to explain to them or to him that, hey, you can't get your money back right now. It's going to go back on your card. That's how you paid for it. But he wanted it to be cash. And this gentleman was, he wasn't just some ordinary guy. This guy had to have money, because I saw the vehicle that he got in, and it wasn't some cheap vehicle that you just can go and purchase at any given time. He was riding a brand new vehicle, state-of-the-art Jeep, all right, well put together. And so me and the sister walked up to him. I touched him on his shoulder. The officers was there. You can tell that they, were getting irritated. And once you irritate people, you don't know how they're going to react. And next thing you know, you're on the ground. Somebody's got their knee in your back or worse, and then you refuse them, or you resist, and then it just escalates. And next thing you know, here's a situation. So these situations that occur has always came from situations that could have been diffused had somebody just did what they were asked to do. So I touched the gentleman, all right, and I asked him, I said to him, I said, brother, in due time, you're going to get your money. Just be patient. We don't want a situation to transpire here. You're going to get your money back. Be patient. Work with these people. And is there anything I can do for you? Do you need a little money to get you through? He said no. But just from her talking to him and me talking to him, we pulled him along, to the side and tried to get out of him what was going on. And once he explained to us, we understood how he may have felt. So I can't say if I was in Montgomery had I not helped that brother, because, you're doggone right. Here's a gentleman being whammed by a bunch of people trying to, just take advantage of the fact that they thought that he didn't have no help. And then when help came, everybody looking like, oh, and then here's other people. It was a diffused situation. It got out of control. And we got to know how to deal with situations that's actually happening among us when we are out there in the world. We don't know who we're out there with. You could be out there with you don't know who you could be out there with, with anybody. You just don't know the type of people that you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? And some people are looking for problems. If you go out there looking for problems, that's what you're going to get. And so let's all work together so that we can avoid some of the powers that may be that wants to see situations like this, arise, where they can call in the National Guards and make it worse than what it is. And we just don't know how this situation is going to occur. We have children, we got to look at the fact that they may be looking at us a certain type of way. We want to create a better environment for them. Because, hey, guess what? I got white friends just like I got black friends. I got people that I associate with that, I don't look at them because of their color. You know what I'm saying? I look at the fact that, hey, there can be, something good in them that I can get out of them. And if they show me otherwise, then I get away from them. But I don't let nobody get too close to me because I don't trust people. And you can see how that situation, transpired. Now everybody's, looking at it like we don't know what's going to happen, how those people are going to be charged for those, how that situation occurred. So let's send love and peace and blessings to the family there, that it didn't get no worse than it did. And let's try to diffuse that as we see be. God bless you. I love you all.